What if I told you that Polygon has a $1 trillion strategy and that its success depends on what they do in 2023? Well, if you're skeptical, I feel you, because I was too. But then I discovered their 5-part strategy that turned me into a believer. In this video, let's analyze each of those 5 parts, and then you tell me what you think about Polygon afterwards. Okay, so part 1 is all about the tech. Polygon's plan is to build best-in-class technology. As a smart contract platform, that means their tech has to make them fast, cheap, and secure. And that's exactly what they're aiming for with their zero knowledge or ZK solutions. Remember, Polygon has always positioned themselves as a scaling solution for Ethereum. And that's why they're all in on building rollups, especially of the ZK variety. If you study Ethereum's long-term scaling roadmap, you'll see that they're all about layer 2 solutions. And out of all the options available, ZK rollups are like the final form end state solution. On a high level, rollups are just blockchains, so we go there to send transactions and use dApps like we normally do. But the experience is super user-friendly because they're fast, cheap, and scalable. ZK rollups also inherit the world-class security of Ethereum because they periodically post a proof on the Ethereum blockchain to ensure that all transactions are valid. So Polygon is actually working on multiple different ZK solutions, such as Zero, Maiden, and Nightfall. But their #1 priority in this area is actually their ZK EVM solution. And if you think about it, it actually makes a ton of sense to focus on that first. Because while ZK rollups do have advantages over other types of scaling solutions, one big disadvantage is that they're not compatible with the Ethereum virtual machine. That means you can't take popular Ethereum dApps and easily launch them on a ZK rollup. You'd have to code them from scratch, and nobody wants to do that. But Polygon is looking to change things with their ZK EVM solution. They're looking to build a rollup solution that is fully EVM compatible. Right now, they are at partial EVM compatibility, and they just launched a public testnet for that in October of 2022. They plan on launching their mainnet sometime in 2023, and I can't wait to try it out. It'll have 90% less gas fees than Ethereum, 2,000 transactions per second, and we'll be able to use some of our favorite dApps like Aave, Uniswap, and Lens, which have all already launched on their testnet. Now, the underlying tech is of course important, but even the fanciest platform means nothing without builders. And that's why part 2 of Polygon's strategy is to create the best and most welcoming ecosystem for developers. So how are they doing that? Well, they're actually approaching this from multiple different angles. For example, they have Polygon Academy and Polygon University, both of which teach devs how to build apps on Polygon. Then there's Polygon Guilds, which creates opportunities for devs to meet up and potentially collaborate. There's also Polygon Village, which pretty much provides all the support a dev could want. I'm talking grants, hiring, audits, listing, and much more. So all these initiatives prove that Polygon is serious about creating a great experience for devs. And if we look at the stats, we see that their effort is already paying dividends. This chart from Masari shows that Polygon's developer activity is holding steady even through the bear market. And given that many of these initiatives I listed were just launched in 2022, I only expect it to get better in 2023. So I think they're doing a great job here, better than most of their competitors. Now, part 3 of their strategy is what I'm most excited about because it's going to elevate their MATIC token to a whole new level. But before we get there, I want to talk about privacy on Polygon, or lack thereof. Because every time you send a transaction or use a dApp, people can see what you did on Polygon Scan. So there's very little privacy, and to be fair, this is an issue for a lot of blockchain networks, not just Polygon. Fortunately, there is a solution for Polygon, Ethereum, and BSC users. It's called the Railway Wallet. They are a self-custodial wallet that lets you do all your crypto and DeFi activities in a private manner. And they're also the sponsor of our video. Railway lets you shield, send, receive, and swap any ERC20 token in a private manner. And their approach is so unique. They give you both a private and public address, and you can move your tokens between them through a method called shielding. But you know what's even better? You don't need MATIC, ETH, nor their Rail token at all, because gas fees can be paid in the token you transact in. So for example, if you shield your DAI, you can pay the gas fees in DAI. That's super cool, and they just upgraded their wallet recently, so now we can shield into any private address as well as choose our own gas fees. If you want to learn more, just go check them out using my link below. Alright, so part 3 of Polygon's grand plan is to give their MATIC token a makeover. In fact, when it's all said and done, it won't even be called MATIC anymore. It'll have a new ticker symbol, perhaps Poly or PGN? Anyways, I think this makes a ton of sense because their MATIC token is a remnant of their old proof of stake network. It was used to pay for gas gas fees, staking, voting, all your usual stuff. But now they have all these new solutions under their umbrella, so they need a token that works for all of them. I think this is super important because Polygon is showing a ton of promise with their tech and adoption. But if the token is just for show, then it will only ever be used for speculation, and all the real adoption going on won't drive demand to it. That's why their token redesign is of utmost importance. And the team knows it. In fact, they've been planning for this since late 2021, but we haven't heard too many details yet. My current understanding is that more details will come out in 2023, and we may even see the new token next year. It's also rumored that their new token will solve a lot of the problems plaguing the current token. For example, there's a big incentives problem on the horizon with their current tokenomics. Right now, validators get staking rewards that are generated by token inflation, but that's set to end in a few years, and when it does, validators are not going to earn enough revenue to keep going. So that's a big problem on their radar, which will hopefully be addressed during the redesign. Another problem is with their on-chain governance. Their current model leaves a lot to be desired, and the hope is that the new token will play a bigger role in whatever system they come up with. Speaking of governance, revamping that is part 4 of Polygon's strategy. Their goal is to beef that up and to gradually increase the decentralization of all their products. They actually started working on this in early 2022 with the formation of their governance team and the Polygon DAO. It's great to see them working on governance because the community has long criticized them for being too centralized. For example, there's that multi-sig wallet that controls the whole Polygon network and is controlled by just 5 entities, most of which are connected to them. So I think the sooner they can turn over control of the network to their community, the better. And in terms of Polygon DAO, there's some really cool innovation going on there. They have this new identity solution called Polygon ID, which is based on their zero-knowledge tech. It lets you vote, build a reputation, and confirm your personhood, all without revealing any private info. So this new ID solution enables new forms of DAO governance and decision making. Like, instead of voting based on how many tokens you hold, they could create a system that's based on your digital identity and reputation. All super cool stuff that I can't wait to see, but it'll likely take more than a year to fully flesh out, so this won't have as big of an impact in 2023, unfortunately. On the other hand, Polygon's partnerships will most definitely have a big impact next year, and that's actually part 5 of their grand plan, which is to grow adoption through world-class partnerships. A lot of people on crypto Twitter have actually described Polygon's business development team as God tier because they've gotten so many brand name partnerships that their peers must be jealous. For example, they have a lot of partnerships with big Web2 companies. They have stuff going on with Disney, Robinhood, Starbucks, doing things like building immersive experiences, building wallets, etc. They also have a bunch of partnerships with banks and fintech companies. Like, they helped the Singaporean government and JP Morgan test out cross-currency transactions on their blockchain. They also partnered with Nubank in Brazil to build out their rewards and loyalty program for their 70 million users. But it's not only traditional finance and Web2 companies though. Polygon is also working with a bunch of gaming and entertainment companies. There's actually too many to share, so I'm not going to list them all. But from what I can tell, it looks like they're investing a lot in play-to-earn games, NFTs, and metaverse projects. For NFTs specifically, I was super impressed by their ability to pull off integrations with both Instagram and Reddit. I think that those integrations, plus their other partnerships in this area, could bring crazy amounts of traffic to their blockchain in the near future. Anyways, that's my take, but what do you think about Polygon after watching this video? If you're bullish and decide you want to go play around and use them, then be sure to use the Railway wallet so everything you do will stay private. It's free and super easy to use, link to that below.